So over the weekend, you were on NBC News, and you said that the level of rhetoric that we're seeing from both sides of the Pacific may be reducing some of the options available to us. What options are being taken off the table because of the rhetoric?
Well, I just worry that the rhetoric is so far out there that if there's no response to the current level of rhetoric, let's say use the phrase locked and loaded, that the president doesn't have a lot more room to maneuver because he's clearly in that example using military or talking about military options. And there's not a lot of room between locked and loaded and having to use them. So I just worry that on both sides, there's been so much bombastic rhetoric that it takes maneuver space for our leadership and actually the leaders in the other countries as well away from them in terms of trying to resolve this crisis peacefully.
How do you assess right now, from what you know, the level of risk? I mean, how close are we to a real conflict?
Well, I think that Director Pompeo and General McMaster over the weekend made reassuring statements that we are not, that war or conflict is not imminent. And I think that's actually positive. We clearly, with the developments that have occurred so rapidly in North Korea in terms of developing the missile systems as well as the nuclear technology, Kim Jong-un is moving at a very rapid pace, much quicker than I think many of us anticipated. And he has been met by President Trump with a very, very straightforward, direct message on we're not going to let you have nuclear weapons. So in that regard, I think the risk is significantly higher than it's been historically. Kim Jong-un is hard to predict. I don't think he's a rational actor. And there are a lot of people who say, well, he'd never use the nuclear weapons because that would be suicidal. I think it would be suicidal, but I'm also not one that yet believes that that's not a possibility. So I think the overall risk is exceptionally high.